chosen. Before the world began, God already had a purpose and a perfect plan.
Hello and welcome back to the channel, the Creations of Christ podcast.
Hello.
We have a fun topic today. Today we're going to talk about how we first met. So I think I'm going to lead us off on this one, honey, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So how we first met was we actually met on a dating site called Plenty of Fish. And what was funny about that was I was to a point on Plenty of Fish where hadn't had much success, any success really. So I was literally about to give up, right? And I was listening to this little voice in my head that said, keep on, keep looking, keep fishing. So what I did was I went on there and saw this beautiful woman right here beside me. And man, I said, oh, let me go ahead. What was it? You swipe right, meaning you feeling somebody. When you swipe left, meaning, yeah, this ain't it. So I swiped right. And when I did that, I let a little time go by and she swiped right too. I said, ooh, wee. I said, yeah, I got him on the hook. Got him on the hook. So I ended up messaging her and everything. And just the way how we communicated with each other from day one was so amazing. Like we literally talked on the phone every single day, like after that. So flash forward a little bit. We go to meet up, right? And I was thinking, there's no way. She's so fine. There's no way. There's got to be a catfish, right? So I planned this whole thing out to where we met up at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I just sat by the door on the side of Buffalo Wild Wings, and I remember I was on the phone with her. I was like, yeah, I'm in here. And when I seen her walk in there with that afro out and the blue dress with the red roses, it just seemed like everything stopped. Like, and there was a strobe light on her, right? Kind of like in the movies, kind of like a movie scene. Everything was dark but her, right? So I'm like, yeah, hey, I'm over here. Yeah, I'm over here. You see me in this black and white striped shirt? I'm over here. And at the time I had locks. You see the brother over here with the locks? I'm over here. And man, I remember we had such a great time. And I went home. I was staying with a roommate and I couldn't stop talking about her. I was like, bro, man, I just went on the best date of my life. Like, man, everything was just right. This is the one. This is her. It was almost like I kind of knew it then. Like, this is a blessing from the Lord. Like, this is definitely a blessing from God. So, and I wasn't even saved yet, but I had been praying for God to bring the woman in my life that I was going to marry. And that just goes to show you right there. He answers prayers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like Charlie said on the dating site, what attracted me to him was his workout pictures, because at the time I was working out. So I was like, ooh, somebody who work out, handsome, like, okay, got the locks, like, all right. And, what stood out the most about him through the whole dating process was the consistency. Other people or dates would, you go out one time, a couple times, and then they go ghost, and with my husband, he was just consistent. He was like, soon as that date was over that night, he trying to figure out what's going on with the next date. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm talking about, But yeah, but when we first saw each other, like he said, he thought I was catfishing him. And I remember we got the picture too, hair pulled back like it is now. A lot of pounds lighter.
That's okay. That's okay. It's still beautiful.
But the little blue and red dress, and still got it in the closet because he won't let me throw that thing out for
Absolutely
nothing.
not.
Yeah.
No, we keeping that.
Yep. So when I saw him, he had these locks everywhere. They weren't like freshly done. They were just like, I couldn't even see his face.
I
I'm
was
like,
going through my ratchet
who
phase.
is this? Like,
was going
pull it
through my
back so I can
ratchet
see what's going on. But I didn't judge him or anything. It was just like, you got to give him a try and just see. And I think sometimes we can look at people's appearance, or look at all these different things about a person, and be like, oh, well, that's not my type, or these different things. But I was just like, you got to get to know a person. And so and Charlie was so excited. He was like, yeah, we got to take a picture. And I was like, oh my God, like, this guy is crazy. And he stood up and he did the selfie, and I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh. But he always say, aren't you glad I took that picture? Aren't you glad I did it? And I'm like, yeah, because we have that photo. But yeah.
We have that photo and a side-by-side comparison of where we started to where we are and where we got married. So I put them together, and what a journey it's been.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to bring it back to the Lord, right? Because I absolutely knew that this was the woman of my dreams. And I knew that she was a blessing from God, and there was no way I was letting her go. Mm-hmm. So that was why I was mad consistent. At times I felt, hey, am I being a little too consistent? Should I pull back a little bit? But no, I'm glad that I didn't do that, because, here we are now, and we're in the covenant with the Lord, and everything is just beautiful. I couldn't be happier. And there was at one point I was beginning to think that I was never going to get married. Love ain't for me. You know what I mean? So anybody that's out there that thinks that, trust in God's process. I'm trying to tell you, trust in the Lord's process. He has somebody for you. You just have to be patient. Sometimes you're going to go through some things. You're going to go through some bad relationships. You're going to go through some, turmoil and breakups and everything like that. This is a part of the process to weed out who is not for you. And then once God blesses you with that significant other, there's nothing like it. You see this smile right here? I didn't always used to smile like this. Mm-hmm. Like, there were people on my social media that would always make comments on my pictures whenever we're together. Like, oh my goodness, Charlie, I've never seen you smile this much. Like, it's almost like you're glowing, bro. And then I'm thinking, like, is there something to this? And then I actually scrolled down to my old pictures. Like, yeah, I used to mean mug all the time because I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. But that's another story for another video. But absolutely, I am so happy. And I thank God every day that he blessed me with this beautiful woman. Aww. And man, we just want to come on here real quick and share our story.
Yes.
How we first met. Started on Plenty of Fish, and here we are now, all those years later. That was back in 2018.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yep, 2018 in the summer.
Yes, 2018.
I believe it was August.
August 10th was our first date. Yep, first date. Buffalo Wild Wings, B-Dubs. They tore that Buffalo Wild Wings down. It was the one in Somerville, but it still holds a special place in my heart, because this is where I met who God wanted me to be with, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you, Jesus. We thank you for joining us on Creations of Christ podcast, and we'll catch you on the next episode. And we thank you, and God bless you.
Thank y'all for watching.